I just want to ask you, when you guys don't make mistakes, don't turn the puck over, don't take bad penalties, you're a pretty good hockey team. I guess can you just maybe give me a thought on sometimes you guys are your own worst enemies, and when you clean that up, you're a tough team to beat.
Well, I mean, of course, it's hard to play a mistake-free game. Things happen so fast out there that there's always going to be little breakdowns and things that happen, but it's about bailing each other out sometimes and finding ways to work through the mistakes. And yeah, I mean, of course, you'd love to make it that simple every night, but I thought tonight we did a great job of just battling for each other. And when there was a little breakdown here or there, somebody was there to have each other's back.
Go to Ryan.
Two-parter for both of you. The first is, you look at the continuity you had defensively tonight. Like, what's it like seeing this for the third time in a fourth game where you've shut people out? And also, Connor's kind of somewhat, but not really joked, like, yes, we can play defense. Like, is that kind of like something where you guys are like, yeah, we get it, we know we can do this, and we're tired of hearing about it? Or how do you sort of, I guess, manage those kinds of questions, knowing like you've been proving this for 2 years now?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, obviously being a goalie, you've kind of seen the growth happen every single game, especially as playoffs got started here. I feel like every single game we've just improved, gotten better and better and better. I think I mean, when you look at the teams that win, they're normally the teams that are pretty stifling defensively. And I know that we've been improving and we've been getting better because obviously we want to be that team. So we've done a heck of a job. You know, it's pretty special when you see the guys battling as hard as they do, blocking shots, just doing little things. You know, again, like it's hard to not make mistakes, but when we do, you know, we got a lot of support. So yeah, it's good. We're definitely on the right track.
Okay. We'll go to Mark. Here you go.
Stu, you guys come down here. I would say you had an exceptionally good 5 out of 6 periods. Going home now for a couple of home games. How do you feel about, you know, how the series is unfolding so far?
Yeah, I mean, 2 good games by both teams. I think, yeah, I mean, it's a 1-1 series. Win some, lose some. More games to be played. I'm not too sure exactly how to answer your question, to be honest. You want to help me out, Nuggy?
I mean, it's obviously you did great. I mean, obviously, you come down to road city like this, and they're going to make it tough. And going home with a split is a good thing. And we now have the home ice advantage going home here. It's going to be huge. Game 3 in front of our crowd. That building is going to be electric. We know that. So. Going to be a lot of fun to play there. It's a series is a long way from over, and we got to dig in here and have a good day tomorrow and go from there.
Exactly.
Daniel.
Stu, it's been a couple times in this playoffs, once in the Vegas series and now tonight, where you followed up a pretty tough loss with a very complete effort, both from yourself and for the team. How do you explain that? What goes into that?
Yeah, I mean, we've shown it for many years now, just perseverance from our team, maturity, just the way that we do respond. Again, it's like I said at the beginning of playoffs, it's a roller coaster. There's a lot of highs, lots of lows. Sometimes the score doesn't always, you know, tell everybody exactly how the game unfolded. I think, you know, a few minutes where we didn't play our best, and it looks a lot worse than what it was. So for us, just going back to tonight, it was really just playing the same game, doing the same thing, and just, you know, putting on our work boots and getting to work. I think that's what it takes. Again, just trying to stay centered as much as you can, whether it's a bad loss, a big win, you know, just trying to stay even keel. Again, it's a long series. It's 1-1, so it's a good matchup.
Bob?
Thanks. Stu, this one's for you. You got 3 shutouts in the last 4 games, but it's coincided with the implementation of Troy Stetcher in the lineup. Sometimes, you know, big players have to prove they can't play. Little guys have to prove that they can. You maybe just comment on, you know, the hard, direct, and competitive manner in which he plays and what he brings.
Yeah, I could talk to him for a long time, to you. I mean, he's got so much heart. The way that he plays, it's impressive. he does everything that he possibly can to help out our team. He plays a hard game defensively, blocks shots. I mean, he's just a guy that will literally do anything possible to help our team win. So you see him when he's not in the lineup, he's grinding in practices, doing the little things right, his tape-to-tape passes. I mean, then when he gets in the lineup, he's always ready. He's a guy, for me, I can always depend on and rely on.
Go to Donna.
Stuart, I think the other day you talked about when there's a lot of traffic around your crease, you talked about, wanting to battle more. How do you feel you did in that department today? And the second piece of that question is, you got the heel of your stick on the Lindell shot. Did you know you'd stopped it, or was there an uh-oh going?
Yeah, for the second part, I did know that I stopped it. I didn't know how close it exactly was. I felt it obviously hit my stick, and then I was just kind of praying to God at that point that it didn't go in. And yeah, obviously the play kept going, so it's a nice little cherry on top. Again, it's a pretty wild play. I don't think you really expect a guy to miss his shot and go off the boards and right on a guy's tape. In a pretty good spot. So yeah, it was kind of a weird play, and you just got to grind it out. And I think for the traffic, I actually think they did an even better job getting more traffic in front of us. Again, block shots that we had, boxing out. But for my part, I think I did do a better job at just competing and battling out there. Traffic can be a really tough play for every goalie, obviously. So, I think as a whole team, we did a better job at that.
Take one more, Ryan.
This question's for Ryan. You think about where you were this time a year ago against Dallas after 2 games in a conference final. What would you say are maybe the lessons you learned from that going into a game 3 in terms of not only how to split a series, but just sort of how to take the momentum you've gained and go forward with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think foot on the gas is good, kind of a good way to put it. We know that they're an experienced team. They've gone through this many times, kind of just like us, and they're not going to just sit back. They're going to come full force at us, and I mean, we saw that the other night in the third period. I mean, they're anything you give them, they're going to take full advantage of, and we need to be prepared. It's a good team over there. We believe we're a good team in here too, so it's going to be hard fought, and next one's going to be big. And like I said before, it's exciting to go home and play in front of our fans.
Chris, the defensive continuity you showed tonight, I mean, you're forcing them into making mistakes. You're making things difficult for them. What was it about tonight's plan that you liked, but also what was maybe different about tonight versus, let's say, game 1 in terms of the execution?
Well, the biggest one, obviously, is the penalty kill. We give up 3 goals, and then in the third period, we're chasing. We have to cheat a little bit, and they got a goal midway through the third period, just absolutely us forcing something that wasn't there. Tonight, when you're playing for the lead the whole time, we don't have to force anything, so that's part of it. And then tonight, I just thought the team, I don't know if our execution, I don't know if we notices the amount of battles we won and the amount of block shots. That's just determination and knowing how important the game was tonight that we almost had to walk away with a victory. And the guys felt that, and they really dug in and put in a great effort.
Second row, Derek.
Hey, Chris, we're here. I was just wondering if you just give me a thought on when you guys protect the puck, when you guys don't take undisciplined penalties, when you guys don't get bad giveaways and basically shoot yourselves in the foot. Just a challenge of trying to do that because you guys are a very good hockey team when that happens and you don't beat yourselves.
Yeah, no, it's important no matter what team you have, whether it's you got a full of stars or third or fourth liners, whatever you want to term them. You have to play the game with simplicity, hard work, and maybe there's some fancier plays once in a while, but ultimately the game comes down to just executing the simple plays over and over again, and that's dump and chase, forward check, all those boring things that don't get on the highlights. But for any team to be successful, they've got to do it continuously, and I think a lot of the guys are bought in and doing that.
We'll go third row, Corey.
Kind of, going off that, Chris, the way the goals were scored tonight, tips, deflections, going hard to the net, Is that part of the buy-in mentality and kind of digging deep and knowing you had to have this one?
Well, scoring goals, it's all around the blue paint. You need bodies there. Very rarely you're going to beat a goalie from distance, and if you do, somebody's usually have to be right in front of them. So, yeah, I think the guys, I think we did a pretty good job of that game one and tonight also. But, to beat any good goaltender in the NHL, and this is a good goaltender, you need to have traffic around there, and you got to pay a price to get around the net.
Coach, your comments on Stuart Skinner and his game tonight and ability to perform under pressure?
Well, part of the reason we're talking about how much better we were defensively is, yeah, we had breakdowns tonight. We did give up some good chances. The one that I think about is the one early in the third period on the breakaway. And Stu comes up big, and he made some really big saves for us tonight. Yes, our team had some block shots, and yeah, we defended well, but Stu had a lot of timely saves, especially the one at the start of the third period, that allowed us to keep them off the scoreboard.
Daniel?
Chris, you had a very tough loss in the middle of that Vegas series and won last night in difficult fashion, but you guys responded very well. What goes into that? How have you been able to do that so well this postseason?
You just have to have a short memory. No matter what happens, win, loss, it doesn't really matter because there's no such thing as momentum going into the next game. And whether it's a tough loss, and we've had a couple of those, definitely that LA game, the one at home against Vegas that they scored with less than a second, and even the game one against Dallas. We had the lead. We played so well in the first 40 minutes. Let that one get away. Those are tough. But our guys have gone through so much adversity. Mostly last year through the playoffs, through being down in a series against Dallas. They had a 2-1 lead, and they were up 2-0 early in that first period. Then we were able to come back. That was one time I remember being down 3-0 to Florida, and even the 2 elimination games that we were facing against Vancouver. The only way you can get by that is if you just worry about the present and what needs to be done. And, I think our guys we're an older team. We've got a lot of experience, and they're able to focus on what's important.
So you got to promise not to get mad here. You guys have been shutouts.
All right, here we go. Yes, we can play defense.
3 out of 4 games pitched a shutout. It tells us that you really dialed you guys' game in here. You got to be pretty happy with what you did today.
Yeah, we're a different team than we have been in years past. Probably not as run and gun as we've been in the years past, as I just said. But I just keep saying we can play defense. Stu was great. A couple breakdowns there that I didn't like, especially in the third, but he was great.
You guys going to run like this, 3 out of 4 games here. What are the details that you think are most dialed in to be able to do this?
The forwards are coming back really hard. Everyone's selling out, blocking shots. It's that time of year. That's what it takes. It's been fun to watch.
Connor, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but some of your better performances now come after kind of devastating losses. What does that say about this team?
We always know we bounce back. We believe that we're a good team with our in a tough situation. Down 1 on the road, got to find a way to have your best game, and we had a good one. Found a way to get a win.
You guys seem to be sometimes your worst enemy. You guys, sometimes you shoot yourselves in the foot. When you don't do that, you feel that confidence that you guys can beat any team in the league. When you don't make those mistakes, get it back in.
I think when any team doesn't make big mistakes, they're a pretty good team. They got a pretty good chance to win. Obviously, we feel that too. When we defend and everyone's bought in like that, we know we're going to find enough offense somewhere.
It seems like you came in here, sorry Ryan, it seems like you came in here and had 5 pretty good periods. Going back home now, how do you sort of feel about the series overall?
Yeah, we feel good, you win game 1, you lose game 2, you feel maybe a little bit wonky. You lose game 1, you win game 2, you feel pretty good. So obviously we feel pretty good about where we're at. As you said, 5 pretty good periods. We came for a split, we got a split. Got to go back it up at home.
Stu said that the other night he felt like he needed to maybe battle a little bit harder through a few of those screens and such. Tonight, watching him in there, did it feel like he was battling in that way?
I think as players, you don't get an appreciation for how hard the goalie battles. You know, we got our own thing to worry about. We trust he's going to do his job back there and battle and try to see the puck and make every save he can. And he did that tonight. He made every save. You know, obviously that's a good night for a goalie.
And winning the special teams, winning the special teams battle here for 1 or 2, like you grabbed the power play goal, killed goals, big swing.
Yeah, big kill there in the third. You know, big kill in the first as well. Their power play's been really good at home. Obviously a little bit, you know, shell-shocked after game 1 there on the kill and found a way to shut them out on the kill, which is always a good thing. And power play found one. When you win the special teams battle, you always got a chance.
Connor, last year Zach was a goal-scoring machine. This year he's a hitting machine. How does that role evolve so dramatically?
Well, I think everyone's taken on a little bit of a different role. This whole team has. As I said, you know, it's probably not as run and gun. It's probably not as entertaining to watch for the folks at home, but you know, we're winning games, and that's all that really matters. Guys are doing everything they can to help this team win.
Brett Kulak adds to the list of goal scorers on this team. Does it feel kind of like a more complete team maybe than it has in the past in terms of just guys can chip in from everywhere?
You go to the finals last year, you're a game away from winning. You're a pretty complete team, you know. But yeah, we're a complete team up and down the lineup. We got good players all over. Everybody's contributing. Everybody's checking. A lot of good things.
Kind of going off that mentality of finding offense, however you can get it. A lot of tips tonight, deflections, going hard to the net. Is that the type of effort, kind of offensively, that you can expect, not necessarily the highlight reel goals, but those big plays?
Well, we can score the highlight reel ones too every now and then, you know. But this time of year, it takes some ugly ones. Getting to the net. Obviously, this team defends really well. Dallas, they got a great goalie. You got to make it hard on them. Get bodies there, pucks there, find a way to bang one in, and you know, we get kind of two that way. And yeah.
Jake Wellman was saying real quick that your goal is to try to make it seem like you guys have 10 guys on the ice whenever you're on defense. Like, what is sort of that message about not only building that continuity, but looking back at your last 4 games and going, you've shut people out in 3 of them, and that clearly things are working well?
Yeah, we know how to defend. Sound like a broken record, but we know how to play defense. And as I said, everybody's bought in. Everybody's tracking. The D are holding their gap, you know, defending that blue line and breaking pucks out and not spending too much time in there. That always helps. And Stu's there whenever we need him. Yeah.
Just one quick one on Game 3. This is a rare occasion where you're not going to touch the ice until you drop the puck for Game 3. Matinee, I don't know if you've ever played a playoff matinee.
Oh, I haven't, no.
What do you think? What do you think of heading home into Game 3 in a sort of a unique situation?
Yeah, I think whatever team's ready to roll is going to have the advantage. You know, it's got to be us. We've got to make sure that we're ready to go right from puck drop. You know, long travel day tomorrow, quick turnaround. Got to be ready.
I thought special teams were good for us tonight, so the one that they did get, we were able to kill, which, yeah, if you don't let them get one, the crowd doesn't get into it, and then you're in a good spot.
Zach, you have nearly 100 hits in these playoffs, and I think during the regular season you ranked 5th on the hits. Is this a role that's evolved, assigned, took it on yourself?
I mean, you probably don't even see half my hits. Like, they're just on the forecheck. So I'm not going and looking for hits or chasing it, but if there's an opportunity to be physical, it's the playoffs. It's not the regular season, so.
Zach, when you guys don't shoot yourselves in the foot, don't take bad penalties, don't cough up, you're a pretty good hockey team. Is it hard? Is that easier said than done, not making those mistakes and costing yourself on?
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably played better last game than we did this game. Stu was phenomenal. The chances that they did get, he was shut the door, obviously. And yeah, special teams is really important in the playoffs. So we've been probably one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the playoffs so far. And if we can shore up the special teams, which we're usually good at, then we'll be in a good spot.
About this team's ability to bounce back. A couple of your better games have been after some, difficult losses, right? Like the Vegas one and last night. You guys have come back pretty solid.
That's the playoffs. You got to be able to punch back. It's a series. You got to find a way. It's a roller coaster of emotions, but you got to stay even keel. And I think we recognize how important each game is, but especially after a loss, you have to come out strong. And we got there in the split, and we were able to do it.
Does that just come with experience?
Yeah, I mean, partly, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've played in a lot of series. We've been, unfortunately, down in a lot of series after one. And we've been able to work our way back in most of them. So we got a lot of experience. Sugar? Yeah.
Needed your help there. Getting killed in here. Sorry. Stu obviously was good. You gave him credit, but I mean, you guys have pitched shutouts in 3 or 4 here. Like, just how many details need to be paid attention to for that to be pulled off?
Yeah, I mean, to get a shutout, obviously your goalie has to be rock solid. Has to save the saves it needs to save. At the same time, in order to get a shutout, unless your goalie is out of this world, like, you got to play well defensively, and you got to limit those chances because there are some good players on the other team, and given enough chances, they've shown that they can score. So, combination of strong defensive play, but at the end of the day, a shutout belongs to the goalie, and there's a reason for that. He's the one making the saves, last line of defense, and he made some big ones.
Some tips, some redirects tonight, just kind of finding ways to put pucks in the net. How important is that in the playoffs when checking's tight and there's not a lot of space out there?
Yeah, I mean, their goalie's a good goalie too. He made some huge saves, especially early on. But yeah, if you deflect pucks or you can't see the puck, it makes it a lot harder to save it. So that's a lot where a lot of the goals are scored.
So this is a rare instance where you guys probably won't touch the ice until they drop a puck in Game 3. Does that present, a different challenge? Is it easier to carry this effort over? What does it mean? This is what happens there. We haven't done that for a while.
I don't think I've ever played a playoff matinee game, so everybody's in the same boat. They're in the same boat. We got to come out strong. We're at home. I'm sure the crowd will be excited. So we'll be ready. There's no excuses. It doesn't matter if you play 5 overtimes and you've got to play in 2 days, like whatever the case may be. Everybody's in the same boat, so it'll be a good one for us.